you one thing, if a little green man pops out of me, I'm shooting first and asking questions later.
You are on the verge of destroying the entire universe.
Welcome to the Strange Podcast with Sam and Logan.
If you enjoy the show, please go to iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you're listening, and please give us a good rating. If you want to share a story or have ideas for a future episode, you're welcome to visit us at www.thestrangepodcast.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Welcome to The Strange Podcast. This is episode 32, and as always, I'm Logan Marks.
And I'm Sam Baxter. Today is May 25th, 2018. So how you been, man?
Doing pretty good. We got a pretty good episode coming up. We got your scary forest stairs.
Yep, stairs that are in the forest that are just kind of fucking weird. Nothing weird about that, huh?
It'd be weird if there's like an escalator.
No, not an escalator. I don't think there's any power. There's no escalator. There's no ladders. There's no fucking... no dump trucks that raise you up and down. There's none of that shit, man. There's just weird stairs.
So you were saying you saw Deadpool?
I did see Deadpool 2 this week. It was pretty good. I if you saw the first one, I think you'll like the second one.
Yeah, I haven't had. I'm probably gonna go see it this weekend on Memorial Weekend. Just gonna.
Yeah,
hopefully, I've been hearing a lot of good reviews saying a lot of people say it's better than the first one.
It is good.
So I have pretty high expectations.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I'm not gonna lie to you. And it's one good thing about this, superhero comic book movie is that they do have cursing, and so it's adult themed. So you folks with your young kids, don't take them to see this movie.
Yeah, because I know I'm gonna go and there's gonna be some asshole there taking his 5-year-old kid to watch Deadpool.
I know.
And the kid's gonna be making a bunch of noise, throwing fucking popcorn everywhere. Yeah. Making a fool of himself.
I know. Daddy, what does fuck mean? You just need to get things like that.
What's a douche?
I know. Is he really dead? He got cut in half. It's going to be all this weird shit. It's like, God. That's why, man, you got to go to those 21 and over theaters, man. Those are nice.
I know. Yeah, so you can drink. That's what we got that one. We got one theater in this little shitty town.
Yeah.
That does that. But
those are nice, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
those are the only ones I go to. I'm an old man, so I like going to those 21 and over, man. I'm not dealing with those high school kids or anything anymore in the theaters.
Yeah, you get a drink. The chairs are nicer.
Yeah, everyone's adults. Everyone's adults.
Yeah, you can get a burger and watch at the same time.
Yeah, that's right. You can get a drink.
That's what I like about
have some food, and everyone's cool. Everyone's usually there date night, or people just going there with friends, and nobody's causing any bullshit.
I didn't have much of an issue. There was one time a guy got drunk.
Oh, really?
And he was, can't remember what we were watching, but he started cheering for like all the good parts, and he was just like, and his wife was all trying to keep her,
were you watching?
You should be quiet.
Were you watching Schindler's List or something?
Yes, some Nazi dude like, Dad, those Jews. No, it was. I can't remember what it was. It was a couple years ago. Yeah, but I remember like the wife was. I just remember the wife was getting all like embarrassed, upset because he was just making a fucking ass of himself, and she's all like, whatever. Like, Robert, stop doing that. And he's all like, just get all crazy.
Well, I remember I went to one of those 21 overs in the town you're in, and I remember that I went there and I went and saw Avengers. I remember the people next to me got so drunk they just passed out in the movie. It was all loud and fucking all kinds of action. And I remember it was like, oh God, this is intense, fuck. And for some reason I look over and they're just all passed out snoring next to me. I was like, oh shit.
Like, damn, you guys' money's worth for the beer.
I know, man. They were just fucking out. I was like, Dad, this movie must suck to them. It's all boring. No, but Deadpool 2 is good. I think Solo Star Wars Story came out today too, so I'll probably check that out. I'm a Star Wars fan.
I
know a lot of people. This one has the lowest expectations. I know that.
Yeah,
I'm
kind of iffy on any more Star Wars movies,
I know that.
So I'll go and I'll probably check it out later. Yeah. But I'm not gonna be going there the first day.
No.
With my lightsaber ready to beat up old ladies.
No, not like before. No, but I mean, I am a Star Wars junkie, so I will watch it. Again,
what I'm excited for is it's not movie theaters, but it's Arrested Development season 5 is coming out next week.
You know what? I've never seen that show yet.
You need to watch that show because I don't know if you'll like it or not, but it's my kind of sense of humor.
Well, I don't like when fucking people curse, so if there's cursing in that show, I will not watch it. Fuck that.
No, but it's pretty. I really enjoyed it. the last season wasn't as good because because the first 3 they did like on regular television.
Yeah, it wasn't on Fox or something, right?
Yeah, and then they canceled it, and then Netflix picked it up again.
Yeah, season 4, 12 years later, huh?
But they had an issue because they couldn't get like all the actors to be there at the same time.
Oh, really?
So they kind of shot it not
like in pieces.
Because they remixed. They did a remix on it, and they called it like season 4 the remix or whatever.
Okay.
And so they re-edited it so it was more like a television format. Mm-hmm. Instead of what they did, because they would go through like each episode was about one individual character, because of the problems they had of getting the actors together.
Okay.
So they re-edited it, and it was and they had like new footage. So I've been watching that like all last couple weeks.
And so you're saying it's not as good?
I thought it was better the way they re-edited it because it felt more like
a real show.
The timing was it felt more, it felt better. With the timing and the jokes and stuff, and the sequence they did when they re-edited it. But I'm kind of excited to see the 5th season because I've always been a big fan of the show.
So what's it even about? Tell us, lame people, what is who've never seen it.
Basically, it's a pretty much it's a family that in the first season.
Oh, it's a family show. Okay.
Basically, it's a family show. The father. The father gets he gets put in jail for like I can't remember for fraud or whatever for the company.
Okay.
And so his son has to come in and try to keep the family together and keep the business going. And it's just like a bunch of rich people who like had money all the time, and all of a sudden they don't have money anymore, but they try to act like they still have money.
Gotcha.
Which makes it's just I don't know. I thought it's just fucking hilarious.
Okay. And it's on Netflix now, you said?
Yeah, you can get pretty much like I think it's the 30th or 31st of this month.
So is it any different now that it's on Netflix? Like, do they have more room to be a little more rude and crude, or is it still the same as it was on Fox?
They kind of kept it the same. They didn't make it. They didn't really do.
They didn't change it up. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. You give it a try if you haven't seen it yet. You should just definitely give it a try. One of those ones you gotta watch. Yeah.
Okay. Did you also know that I guess keeping on going back to Star Wars is I guess they're gonna do the Boba Fett movie. They got a director for that now.
Who's Boba Fett?
The Boba Fett. Boba
Fett. Is he a character on one of your Star Trek movies?
Oh, that was a Jawa, wasn't it?
Is it Star Trek? He's on Star Trek.
Yeah.
Right?
So I guess they're gonna do his. Disney's really trying to make some money off this name, right? Off Disney.
I guess so.
Off of Star Wars.
Are they gonna make him a woman?
They're just gonna show how he probably became who he was, the most feared, bounty hunter in the galaxy. So.
But they're gonna turn him into a woman.
I do not know.
Just so it's more.
Yeah, it's more for everybody.
More for everybody.
Yeah. But the guy who did it, who's gonna do it, is the guy who did like 310 to Yuma and Walk the Line and So I guess
that might be okay. I mean I like those. 310 to Yuma was pretty good.
Yeah. So I guess he's the one that's gonna be directing the movie. So that's James Mangold is the one who's going to do it. So I guess we'll have to see if it's any good. And also, I also want to say, because I really like this series. Did you ever watch the John Wick series?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chapter 3, they said that they're going to have a couple new people joining. Halle Berry and Angelica Houston are supposed to be in that as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's going to have...
Did they kill his cat this time? And
gets revenge? Well, I really like Part 2, man. Part 2 was good, man.
Yeah, they're both pretty good. I like the first one a lot.
I did too, but I liked how the second one kind of showed more about the whole how all the assassins were. How that guy, remember the guy from Ian McShane? Remember the guy from what's that? What was that one Western show he was in?
It was an HBO one, right?
Yeah. Deadwood.
Fucking Deadwood.
So Ian McShane from Deadwood. Remember how he was in charge basically of all the assassins and stuff? And remember at the end, he's like, everyone was like basically under his thumb. He's like, you got like, you got like 30 minutes and then it's fucking free for all on you. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm interested to see what's going to go on next with that.
Oh yeah, I'll have to watch it again. I I watched most of it, but I kind of lost interest.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, the first one I thought was a lot better.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked the second one a lot. I thought the second one was pretty good. I thought, like I said, it delved more into what that whole society was about instead of just a hotel. So I thought that was pretty cool. I like the respect they have for him and everything. It's pretty cool. So anyway, John Wick Chapter 3. It's gonna be coming out soon. Probably, well, not soon, but probably in about another year.
So get your pennies ready. Get your pennies ready to pay for that ticket.
Just be prepared.
Set aside your money.
Yeah.
All right. So we probably should get into the strange news now. So we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about some more crazy people in this little world we call Earth.
It's time for strange news.
All right, time for some strange news time.
All right, what did you got?
So this first one I got here is it's kind of odd, but this passenger tries to rip the plane door open after missing his flight. So this jackass, this guy in Melbourne, he was late for his plane, and they said, "Hey, asshole, you're too late. Plane's leaving." He was trying to get to Adelaide. So when they told him that, he witnesses there said he just fucking lost it, pushing crew and gate members out of the way. He ran onto the tarmac, up the stairs to the plane before trying to bust the plane door open. But here's the kicker: this motherfucker, it wasn't even the right flight he was trying to get on. The plane that he was trying to get on was going to Sydney, not Adelaide. So,
oh man, that's embarrassing.
Yeah. You break through all the security and get through all these fuckers and all these checkpoints. You get to the plane, it's not even the right one.
I don't know. That's pretty badass. Though.
It is, but I mean, they restrained him, and I think he's going to be banned. They said he might get a lifetime ban.
A lifetime ban. That's pretty good because I mean, shit, that's a lot of stuff to do.
It is, man. He broke through their fucking security and everything.
That seems just like a slap on the wrist for what he did.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're gonna,
I'm surprised he didn't get like jail time.
Yeah, they didn't say if they would. But yeah.
Now don't do that again.
Yeah. Now you learn from this.
Make sure you know what flight you're gonna go on before you go on a rampage.
Yeah. So this guy, he got in trouble, but hey, maybe they figured he was tough, and they're gonna have him be on their SWAT team. Who knows?
Was it Bruce Willis?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It sounds like that.
Die Hard 6.
Sounds like it.
Die Dumber. Fucking goes this dummy went to the wrong plane.
Die Hard 6.
That's not even John McClane anymore.
I know it's like one of those like shit like when they do like the Tremors.
I know it's all it's all like one of the characters. He becomes the main character. Like Michael Gross in Tremors, he was a minor character. Now he's in all of them now. He just took over the series. And it's like every movie he's in, he's like super important. Like he's
I know.
Like he has all this history with him, and his family does, and all this shit. It's like,
they just came out with a new Tremors.
I think I saw. I mean, I saw the cover, but I never watched it. I think I stopped on the third one.
I watched a little bit of it, and
how was it?
It just got boring. Yeah, I think they went to like Alaska or like the Antarctica or someplace with it was just after like I watched it for a little bit and it's just like, oh, I can't do
Fuck
this
this, yeah. Well, the first one was really good. Remember the first Tremors?
The first one was really good, and I remember when they started, where they made them where they were on
land?
Earth.
Yeah, that was the second
on land.
one.
They didn't have those like two-legged ones. After that one, I couldn't watch them anymore. But I mean, I did like the third one. It was okay.
Oh, when it went back there, and it just wasn't as good as the first one. The second one, like I said, yeah, when they started mutating and going on land.
Yeah, they were okay. They were kind of B movies. They were still decent, but after a while, it just got just plain like.
It went to, and then they went to like the 1800s or something, didn't they? And then like the fourth one.
Did they really?
Yeah, I think same guy. Michael Gross was the main guy. He was. I don't know.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah, I know. I think they're supposed to do another Bill and Ted's too. I've heard about that.
That's what I heard. They're going to come up with another one.
Okay, we digress. So what do you got next?
All right. So I got a story about 3 guys were accused of stealing a shed. So in Lebanon, Maine,
stealing a shed.
Police arrested
like a whole shed.
Yeah. So
not something in the shed, but the whole shed.
They said, "Hey, if we're gonna steal something, we might as well take the whole."
Yeah, there's too many good things in here. Just take the whole fucking.
I think there's a Game Boy.
I know.
We can't stop.
I think I saw a hammer. So
there's a hammer. Yeah, state police arrested 3 men after they dragged a stolen shed down the road. So the policeman said that 3 of the men stole the shed from a foreclosed property on Port Street in Lebanon. On a Sunday, a person called the police saying that they saw 3 men dragging the shed down the road. You can see the picture. It's like this little shitty Volvo car that they like chained up, and they were just dragging the shed. The officers arrived. They found the 25-foot long shed. It's almost a big fucking shed.
What the fuck, man? How do you think they're gonna get away with this?
I don't know. But so they all got busted. They got charged with unauthorized taking, as well as some other charges, and they're all held on a $5,000 bail.
Oh God, fucking guys! I don't know what was in that shed,
just man. To get one truck, knock down the door, and just take whatever was in there.
I know.
I don't know. Maybe it was a good
like
shed.
I said, maybe it was fucking made of oak or pine or something. You know, it was super sturdy.
They don't make sheds like this anymore, man. We gotta take it.
I know. I like this shed. I think I'm gonna steal it. Fuck. Well, I got one where a man uses a torch to kill weeds, but he sets his garage on fire. So this guy in Ohio, this man was attempting to use a torch to kill weeds in his yard and ended up setting his garage on fire. The township firefighters were called to Clark County home at around 4 a.m. and the garage was engulfed in flames. So the homeowner told the investigators he was trying to kill weeds around his detached garage with a torch, and the structure caught fire accidentally. So luckily there was no injuries, but the flames didn't spread anywhere else. But the garage was a total loss, and the damage is estimated between 10 and 15 grand.
Oh yeah.
So instead of going out and fucking pulling out the weeds on his hands and knees like a normal person would do.
Well, a lot of people use the propane tanks. The propane torches to burn their weeds.
Sure, but this guy, I don't know what he was using.
Apparently, he didn't know how to use it.
He must have been using like an army issued fucking flamethrower. The ones you use in weapons.
Had this from World War II.
Yeah, the ones you use in.
So I figured I figured I'd get some weeds out of the way with this thing.
That's not a knife. This is a knife. Fuck, man. So yeah, man. This guy fucking burned his shit down. Burned down his garage. So when your garage got stolen, this guy burned his own shit. So I guess garages aren't popular today. So what do you got?
So I got a Florida car dealership asked women to prove that she's not a robot.
Prove that she's not a robot?
Yeah. So the lady Marcy Robin of Florida set out to buy a Fiat 500X. During the paperwork process, Miss Robbins was given a form to check to make sure that she wasn't a robot. The question came from one of their online CAPTCHA forms. They asked when you go online,
and you have to prove, click on which on which of these pictures is not
which one has the stop signs in it or something. Yeah, they print out the form. They print out that as one of the papers, and she said that the sales guy was handing me papers after paper with a brief explanation of what was on them, and then he handed me this page, and it literally had nothing on it, and he just said matter of factly, and this one is just too sure that you're not a robot. So some paper. Her and her husband were like, look at each other like, really? And she says, I don't know if he's been doing it for so long that it seemed normal to him, but they were both just like, oh, okay, you know. So, well, you would think it'd be like a printing error or whatever, but that's what he does. He's just like, you have to check that box, and they can't, in order for them to give you a loan for the car.
That box is the most important box of the whole thing.
I know. But I guess the newspaper called them and said, so for what it's worth, the dealership confirmed that if a robot wanted to buy a car, they would have no problem selling it to it as long as it had a social security number and an ID.
Hooray for
You know what's
robots.
kind of when I read the story, I was just made me think, man, there might be a point in time where like a robot would actually be able to buy a car.
Yeah. Or become one, whichever one they are.
Or become like a
Like a
transformer.
Fucking, I'm out of here.
That's how I got my first wife. I bought her at the dealership.
Nah, I don't know. There might be a point, yeah, but I don't think we're there yet.
I don't know. Have you seen some of the stuff they have?
I have, yeah, but I don't think those things can drive yet, can they?
I mean, they got the.
I mean, fuck, they can't even get the fucking remote control like Lyft cars and Google and all them. They can't. The Teslas, man, those things are still fucked up. Didn't one of those cars like kill somebody recently? Those self-driving cars.
I mean, but usually a lot of them are because of like the human in the other car.
No, this one ran over
That
somebody.
causes it.
Somebody was crossing the road. The latest one.
is that right?
Yeah, and the car saw them and it just still went anyway. And somebody was crossing the road and they just fucking ran over them.
Well, there's a lot of people that still do that. So.
I know,
So
I know.
it's
But
not
I'm
as
saying
bad.
I'm saying in self-driving is what I'm saying. Yeah, there's a lot of people that do that.
I don't know. It's getting to the point where it's getting safer. It's probably still right now safer
Self-driving.
for a robot to be self-driving than a person.
Maybe. I know some people. I know what you mean. I've ridden with you. You're fucking scary. But yeah,
That's
you're
true.
right, man.
That's
There's
true.
a lot of human errors, right? People on their fucking phones or playing with their radio or something. There's a lot of reason for humans to err on that. So yeah, probably maybe pretty soon we'll have some synthetics driving the cars.
I don't know. I think it'd be pretty cool.
Hey man, if I have a chauffeur, fuck yeah.
Yeah, like if I could just like go and kick back, get an extra, 20 minutes for my
nap
of sleep.
Fuck yeah.
a nap if I
Oh,
want to
God,
go
you
into
gotta
work.
be-
That'd be
Preaching
amazing.
the choir, man. remember iRobot? Remember that Will Smith movie?
Yeah,
I remember seeing all those self-driving cars and stuff. I'm like, God, that would be so nice.
I know.
For like long trips.
As soon as it become affordable, I'd definitely get one.
Oh man, hopefully soon, man.
So you got another story?
Yeah,
for
I
us?
got something. Of course, our Florida portion.
All right.
Visitors to Florida Park warned to avoid aggressive squirrels. So I guess in Orange County, yeah, these squirrels, man. I guess these squirrels are becoming a menace to people there. They've been scratching and attacking the kids at the park. So they've had,
Oh, really?
yeah, they've had to put up signs, but
Beware squirrels.
please, it says they posted signs, and one of them says, "Please avoid contact with squirrels." But even that was fucked up. They spelled avoid AVIOD. so the Florida people's spelled avoid wrong. So now,
Nice work, Florida.
so yeah. So now the people were confused and they touched the squirrels because they didn't know what aviod meant. Yeah, I guess this is becoming a problem there at this area. That people have been like feeding the squirrels and stuff, so then the squirrels are becoming, they're not becoming afraid of the people. So since they're
It's
becoming,
almost like those,
what's that?
like those monkeys.
Yeah,
those monkeys.
exactly.
You see where they get like all crazy and they just go and like steal people's phones and
Yeah,
whatever
they're not
they have.
afraid. But these squirrels, like I said, they're becoming accustomed to the people there, so then they're not becoming afraid of them anymore.
That reminds you of that Rick and Morty episode where he went out and you can hear the squirrels talking.
Oh yeah,
They went-
they were all super dangerous. He stopped and he listened to all like making plans and like super high, like yeah, we got to get Congress to do this, and it wasn't even like anything small. It was like super high.
Like tearing down governments
Yeah.
and like replacing dictatorships and
It was
stuff.
fucking the squirrels controlling everything, and they had to jump to a
Can I-
parallel Earth. Remember?
Does it look like that kid could hear us?
Yeah.
No.
fucking Rick had that button to knock him out for like 5 minutes. Right? That's self-defense. Before they had to shift to another dimension. Oh, Rick and Morty, how I
man.
love thee. So what else do you got?
So I got a story where a spokesperson from Durham Constabulary said the police were called around 9 p.m. following a nosy neighbor's concern that they had witnessed a child enter a hotel called the Club F on High Street in Stanley.
Okay.
So the police arrived and spoke to the staff about the child, and the staff confirmed that the child was indeed a regular-sized customer.
So is this a small person?
who was a very short adult woman. The club, which is fully equipped with a dungeon, complete with a mistress and pole dancing facilities.
It's an adult
had
club.
the police called. So they've been had the police have gone down there a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just funny because I guess they saw this tiny woman go in and they thought a kid was going into the just basically this orgy
Oh
club.
shit, that's understandable. I can see why somebody would be like, hey, no kids. You shouldn't be allowing kids in there.
So they have a website, and the club is described as one of the country's leading clubs and emphasizes friendliness, fun, and safety for its members. So people pay about £10 a year to be a member, and as long as both parties are consensual, or both parties are consent, they can have sex with whoever they want on whatever bed. Their leather sofas out of there, and just the only thing is just don't bring your kids.
Yeah, fucking, that's a good rule. I've heard of places like that around where I live. I know somebody who's went somewhere one of those.
Like a sex club?
Yeah, man. It's basically like the women are free to do whatever they want. The guys cannot do anything, and if the woman like says, "Hey, hey Logan, you wanna, come hang out with me on the couch over here," you can go there and you can do whatever you want. Yeah, but she has to inquire first. She has to invite you. You can't, they don't want the guys,
hey,
right? Baby. Yeah, because it's gonna be, they want to keep it classy. They want to make sure that
classy.
they want to make sure that like the women don't feel threatened and stuff, right? So they just they let the women make the decisions, and the guys go along with it. If you don't get it, nobody offers you to invites you in, then fuck, man, you go home and jerk off, I guess.
Classy place with the pinky out.
Yeah,
Pinky and the stinky.
Yeah, pinky and the stinky. Hey, I was gonna ask you, did you do you ever watch that show, that Cobra Kai?
No, I see it on. Is it like on YouTube?
It's a YouTube show.
Is it like on the red? Like
yeah,
the red
YouTube Red.
tube?
But
so
you can watch the
for
first 2 episodes, or first one for free, and then you have
I've
to
seen it on
pay
there.
for that. Have you watched that
Is
at
it?
all?
No, have you watched it?
I
yet?
haven't, but I've been told to watch it by people who used to like the show, the movie.
Uh-huh.
But I've told you before, I hated Karate Kid. I hated Daniel LaRusso. I thought he was a piece of shit.
Uh-huh.
He was the one that he's the one that brought all that problem to himself.
Oh, yeah.
So I was just wondering if you had seen that.
No.
But I was gonna say, because I heard that remember the sensei, the mean guy that was in charge of the Cobra Kais. I guess he's supposed to reprise himself in the second season. Oh, so I guess in the first season, well, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but he wasn't in it for a reason that they gave me neither.
Does he go to sex clubs or something? Is that
No.
why you brought it up?
No.
I'm like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, it was way out of left field, wasn't that?
I was thinking sex clubs.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what?
Speaking of sex clubs, did you watch
Kid.
Karate Kid? Fuck, man, that was a great segue, wasn't that?
So what do you got next?
Last one I got is Cleveland driver gets car stuck in wet cement. So this driver, who apparently made a wrong turn, found himself further delayed when his car started sinking into wet cement. So they said witnesses said this guy drove right onto the wet cement Thursday afternoon where crews were working to pour new concrete, and he just fucking started sinking.
What a kind of a douchebag, dude, because these guys are all fucking working on cement, and this guy just shows up in his car.
Just fucking drives right in there, man. He ruined all the work. The crews were trying to free the car, and it got freed later, but it was unclear whether the vehicle sustained any damage from its wrong turn ordeal. so
Did they have like signs up and?
Yeah, they had all that shit. You know how it is. Construction workers phone. Ahead. Slow down.
Yeah.
This guy just made a wrong turn, man. But haven't you ever been around people that do like weird shit in their cars?
I was watching this video where this lady, they were having like a 5K or like a marathon,
mm-hmm.
and this lady's like they have all the the cones up and they're blocking they had like people there making sure that people don't drive into the path of the runners.
Sure.
And this lady's like she starts driving into where like almost hitting people while she's going in there because she wants to park in front of this building. And then so this guy that's like trying to stop her. He's like, no, you can't go through here and blah blah. And she's like yelling back, like, how am I supposed to park here? I have to go to this thing. I have a meeting to go to. And she's in there, and then like she's like, oh, the guy's yelling at him, calling her a dumb bitch and all this stuff, getting all pissed off. And she's like, She pulls out like her handicap things. Like, I am handicapped. I should be able to park wherever I
What?
want. Yeah. And the guys, like, everyone's like, "You're a fucking dumb bitch."
That's not the fucking point, lady. We know you're handicapped by you even saying this shit.
I was like, I don't know if you're mentally handicapped or what, but yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. I thought it was pretty funny though, because she thought she just had the right way because she had handicaps.
No, don't mind me. I can go this way. Like, no, stop, bitch. So you know the concrete like parking stop blocks, right? You know, to keep cars from going over and like to the next lane or something. So I remember like this was a long time ago. I was with a friend. He was in his car, and me and another guy got out of his car. We were out there talking, and he was sitting in his car listening to music. And he's like, "Hey man, let's go." I was like, "All right." And he started like, he thought he was gonna be all funny and start moving without me getting in the car, without both of us getting in the car. And he puts his car. We're parked in the parking lot. No other cars there, right? It's in the afternoon. No other places. We're at college at the time. And he puts his car in drive, and he starts going, and he gets stopped. His progress gets impeded, and instead of stopping, he puts his foot on the gas, and he goes over a cement block. Oh shit! The cement block was keeping him from going, and he fucking floored it. So his car went up and over that. He couldn't get the back part.
Like the tires.
No, nothing else would go over. He couldn't reverse back and get it.
How did he get out?
He ended up getting out because me and the other guy picked up the car. Picked up the front. But we were laughing at him. We were like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why did you stop?" He's like, "I don't know what it was, but I had to just get over it." I was like, "You dumb motherfucker."
Oh man.
Yeah, there's no other cars here. You're lucky nobody else saw this. So I know that there's dumb people. We all know that.
Like I said, maybe one day all the cars will be driven by robots. So we don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, no doubt. Come on.
Oh man, it's starting to get about that time. We get to the main topic.
All right.
So when we come back, we're going to be talking about stairs in the forest. Tell us about these scary stairs.
Well, there's some weird stuff with these stairs, man. I don't go into the forest, man. I'm not somebody who likes to go out and act like I'm poor and go camping in the forest. So I've just have to relate what I've read and what I've seen online because the internet never lies.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
But there's been people reporting, like odd stairs in the middle of like the deep forest. And there's like they're always different shapes, sizes, made of different materials. The only consistent thing with all these stairs is they lead to nowhere, and they're always told that you should never touch them. You shouldn't get on top of them. Just leave them alone. They're always pretty clean. Like there's never any dirt, any debris, anything on them.
It's almost like they just like appear out of nowhere.
Well, like as if they were in a home. Like usually in the home, it's not gonna have like it's not gonna be weathered or anything like that. It's not gonna be rotted or anything. But they show up like in the woods, and they look, like I said, they look like they're clean. They look like they're like somebody built them and put them there.
Oh, almost like they were transported from
exactly.
house and then they just kind of appeared
something there. Or who the fuck knows where, another dimension. I don't know. But the Forest Service, I guess, allegedly knows about all these, and they're always, again, what I was reading is that the forest rangers, whenever there's new trainees, they always tell the new rookies, never to touch them, don't ever mess with them, don't talk to people about them, don't inquire, and they never give any explanations for this. Just saying, and maybe because they don't have any, I don't know, but it's I guess part of their training and their tradition to always keep their colleagues away from these, just stay away from them. You see them, stay away. So there was like there was an incident where like this one guy, he was talking about he was a search and rescue guy. He was a rookie, and one of the lady that was training him decided to show him where a place where they found like a lot of missing people, like in his forest. There's like usually like a hot spot where they found. Whenever they find people, it's usually around this area.
Yeah.
And they're out walking and they're just talking, whatever. He's a rookie. He doesn't know much, right? She's just teaching him everything she knows, to make him a better search and rescue person. So eventually, he sees something like in the woods, and it's like got like straight edges, and he points it out to her. He's like, "Oh shit, you see that over there? Like that doesn't seem right. There's trees, dirt, trees, bushes, and then these big fucking like straight edge things kind of going high." And he points it out, and she doesn't say anything. So she just hangs back and lets him wander over there to check it out. He gets within about 20 feet of it, and he, allegedly, his hair on the back of his neck just stands up. He feels really weird. And he's like, what the fuck? It's a staircase in the middle of the woods. And he's never seen this before. He's a rookie. He's probably like, maybe he just hiked, his life and stuff, but he never come across anything like this. It's just a normal staircase, white carpet, about 10 steps. He feels like it should be in a house, but it's not. It's just in the middle of the woods. So, he decides, the trainer, she comes up to him and stands next to him. And she just stands there casually. No big deal. Almost as if it's not even interesting. And he asks her, like, what's this thing? What are these steps doing here? What are these stairs here? And she just kind of laughs and she says, just get used to it, rookie. You're going to see a lot of them. So as he starts to move closer to the steps, she grabs his arm pretty hard. She says, I wouldn't do that. And her voice, it's casual, but she has a tight grip on him. And he just stands there looking at her. And she says, you're going to see these all the time. Do not go near them. Do not touch them. Do not go up them. Just ignore them. So he's like, fuck, okay. She's my lead. I got to do what she says. So they end up moving on. And the subject doesn't even come up again for the rest of the training she was giving him. But he says, he's been doing this for like I think he'd been doing this for like, 20 years now. That was a long time ago. And he says about, every fifth call he goes on, he ends up running across, a set of stairs out there. And he says sometimes they're close to the path, maybe within 2 or 3 miles of the main path. Sometimes they're like 20 or 30 miles out, literally in the middle of nowhere. And he only finds them during like the broadest searches or on training weekends. Like whenever they're doing, they have to do a bunch of training, right? He comes across them. Always in good condition. Looks like they've been out there for a long time, but always in good condition. Different sizes, different types of stairs. And so he says when rookies ask him about stairs, he gives them the same advice. Just stay away. So that was his first time coming across these. So, search and rescue, they train with other Forest Service search and rescue teams. And so they have like, big powwows where they do training. And he's got another search and rescue guy. He's known for about 7 years, a buddy. And he said that his trainer told him the same thing. Don't go near him, don't touch him, don't go up him. So he said his first year, he did that, but eventually he got really curious. And on one of the calls where they were doing a search, he kind of broke away from the rest of everyone else. And he came across some of the stairs, so he wanted to go check them out. And he says they were about 10 miles from the main path where a teenage girl had vanished. And the dogs were following a scent. So that's where everyone was going. They were following the dogs, and he kind of like lollygagged back and saw the stairs. So he was on his own, and again he saw them, and they were carpeted stairs, pristine white. And as he got closer, he said he didn't feel any different. He didn't hear any weird noises. He was expecting something like scary to happen, right? Because of the taboo of them. He thought like maybe he would die on the spot or something. It was just something weird. But he got right up next to him. He didn't feel anything. And the only thing he said was that how odd it was that there was no debris on the steps, no dirt, no leaves, no dust, nothing. It was just clean. There didn't appear to be any signs of animals or insect activities on the area. It's as if everything was avoiding the stairs, right? All the creatures and insects and everything knew to stay off the stairs. Even the fucking leaves knew to stay off the stairs. So he decided, fuck it. He slowly climbed on the stairs. And he said he was scared. He said he was really scared. He actually felt, pretty freaked out. Just because the way they'd been stigmatized, right? He wasn't really sure what was going to happen to him. So he thought like maybe he was going to jump, he was going to end up in another dimension, or something was going to snatch him up or something, right? He didn't know what to expect. But he got to the top of the stairs, no issues, no problems, and he stood there looking around. But he said the longer he stood on top of the stairs, he felt like something was really, really wrong. You know, like you're in a place that you're not supposed to be, right? And you're like, oh shit, if I get caught, I'm gonna get in some big trouble. So he's like, he couldn't brush that feeling off the back of his head that he was in a bad place. And the one thing he did notice though was that the sounds of the force were gone. Like he couldn't even hear his own breathing. It was like a form of like tinnitus that nothing existed, no sounds at all. So he just said fuck it. So he went down the stairs and he rejoined the search team, and he didn't tell anybody what he did. He just said, he had to, cure his curiosity. But later, as he got back to the welcome center and the search had ended for the day and everyone was meeting back there, he got cornered by his trainer, and his trainer looked really pissed. And the trainer just went up to him and says, "You went up them, didn't you?" And it wasn't phrased as a question. It was like the trainer knew that he had went up them, and the trainer was like disappointed. And he just kind of said, and the guy says, "How'd you know that?" And the trainer says, "Because we didn't find her. The dogs lost her scent." So the guy says, like, what does that have to do with anything? I mean, going up the stairs have to do with anything? And so the trainer asked him, like, how long were you on the stairs? And the guy said, no more than a minute. And I guess the trainer gave him like a really death stare, dead-eyed look. And he said that if he ever went up the stairs again, he would be fired immediately. And the trainer just walked away and wouldn't answer any of his questions. Like get the fuck out of my face, He was so pissed that he knew he went up there. So he never understood what the tie was to that. And I'm not going to say I have the answer to that either, because nobody knows. But again, this guy has other friends, and he says another guy who had been doing it for a long time, longer than them, said that he says at the park, they definitely know about this stuff, and they have records, for the past decades describing them. There's been people, putting in, making statements about them, and so they have records on all this stuff. And sometimes people go up and nothing happens. Other times, like people get fucked up. I guess allegedly, one guy, a search and rescue guy, he went up to the top of the stairs, and he reached out, and his hand got sliced clean off on the top of the step.
When he got to the top?
Yeah, he reached out, and his hand got sliced clean off.
It's like a different dimension.
Yeah,
kind of,
he reached out to touch a tree branch,
kind of cut it.
Something, and the guy said it happened so fast. 1 second his hand was there, and the next it was gone. Completely a clean wound, just a slice. And they never found the hand, and the guy almost died. He almost bled out. And allegedly another time, another team member, that was with him, touched one of the stairs, and right there her blood vessel just burst in her brain and exploded like a water balloon, just blew up. And she she stumbled down the stairs, and all she got out, she kind of came back to him as it was bursting. She says, "I think something's wrong with me," and she died right there before she hit the ground.
Oh wow!
So they warn people not to go anywhere near them, but there's always somebody who does. And even if nothing happens to that person that goes up them, they say that something bad always happens. Like kids go missing. If they're on the trail and somebody goes up the stairs, they lose the scent, they lose the trail. Someone might die, in a safe part of the park, in a different place in the park. Somebody ends up dying, like a weird accident, dying. But he doesn't know why. But this always happens. If somebody goes up the stairs, somebody else suffers in the park. If not that person who goes up, but somebody else does. This is what allegedly happens. So one story that also happened where it was not a search and rescue person, but a guy with a couple years ago, I guess a guy and his girlfriend, where they went out camping a few miles off the road, at a regular campsite, and they went to bed at night, and they couldn't sleep at first because they kept hearing a loud grinding noise, as if I don't know if you've ever been around somebody who grinds in their teeth at night. Yeah, but that's what it kind of sounded like, and I don't like the sound of that. But I guess the girlfriend, the guy, she was freaking out. and she couldn't ignore the sound. But eventually it kind of like went away and they fell asleep. So he woke up about 2 hours later because he felt kind of weird, right? He just kind of woke up in a startle. And he rolled over to touch his woman, but she was gone, so he freaked out. And he ran out of the tent calling her. But he didn't have to go too far because she was standing at the edge of the camp looking at something in the trees. But when he came up to her, she was like really pale. So the fire that they had was now lower. And he was able to see her, and he said when he went up to see her and see what was up with her, she was dead asleep, but her eyes were open. And she had like a real spaced out look. And he put her arm around her to lead her back, but she wouldn't move. So he said, she just really said something quietly. She just kept saying, I have to go now. I have to go. It's here. And so he's telling her, hey, you're just sleepwalking, come back to bed. But she wouldn't budge. So she kept standing there and saying that she had to go. So he looked to see where she was looking, and there was a staircase 15 yards away. And it was a gray one. It was concrete. And she started to walk towards it, but he yanked her back like really hard, and he woke her up. And she was like, what the fuck's going on? Like, what are we doing outside the tent? And he didn't tell her anything. He just like turned her around and was like, hey, you were sleepwalking, And they just went back to the tent, and he never told her what had happened. And the next day, nothing was there. The stairs weren't there anymore, and he said they just bailed the next day.
So like they were never there.
Exactly.
Kind of thing,
yeah. And so another case where there was a kid who had Down syndrome, and he had went missing, and they found him like a week later. But when they started talking to him, all he talked about were stairs. He said he had been watching his dad build a fire, and the stairs came up to him. That's what he says. This is a child who has Down syndrome explaining that the stairs came up to him, and he knew that he had to go up them or something bad would happen. But the cops didn't really know what he was talking about, and he just kept saying like the campfire over and over. That's what the boy kept saying. And he kept mentioning sounds, but he couldn't say what sounds, just that it was so loud he had to cover his ears so that he couldn't hear them, to block him out. So they asked him exactly where he'd gone, and he just kept saying right there, and he kept pointing at himself. So they thought, that he meant that he thought that he'd never left. So, he wasn't scared because the stairs were there, and he said that the stairs talked to him, but not the way that people talk. So it was hard to understand, and the feeling the cops got, they thought, this kid's not really making sense. We're just not gonna take his statement down. Like a lot of this doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, it would be worth their time.
Yeah, so they just ended up saying that the kid had like some kind of amnesia, and there was no foul play involved. But it didn't really explain why he came back a week later perfectly fine without a speck of dirt on him. He was well fed. But, whatever the cops say go, they said there was nothing weird about it, so they just let it go. Yeah. So this one might tie to something else that I said earlier. So at one point, like when there was about, remember the Depression about 10 years ago, that the Forest Service was having, they were hurting for money too, right? So they sold off some land. They said, we need some cash. So they sold this plot of land they sold, and they got a call. One of the supervisors got a call right away after they had sold it, and they didn't know why, but they ended up this guy who was telling the story said he got sent up with a few other of the leads, and he thought it's power in numbers because it was like loggers that had called them. The loggers were already cutting down the trees, trying to make some developmental area. They got there, and the loggers were there crowded around an area around a tree they just cut down. But they were all pissed off and freaking out, and the foreman comes over to them, to their main, forest guy, and says, "What the fuck you guys think you're up to?" And he's like, "You think this is like some kind of joke or something?" And the forest guy is like, the head forest guy is like, "What are you talking about?" So he brings them over to the tree that had been cut over, and he points at it and tells them when they cut it down, it was just the way it is right now. And he didn't know like what the fuck was going on, if this was a joke. But inside of the tree, it was all rotted out hollow in one spot. And they cut it down, and it had exposed the chamber, and inside of there was a hand. It was a perfectly severed hand.
Oh, from that first guy.
I don't know, man. And it looked like it had been fused inside of the tree. So now the forest people think that they're doing a joke to them. So they said, fuck you loggers, you're not gonna fuck with us. So they decided to start to leave, and the loggers like, no way, we call the cops, assholes, and we're gonna go to the media if you don't stick around. So then they're like, all right, they don't like the media, right? So then they said, all right, we'll go back. So the police get there, everyone's like denying what, the loggers didn't deny they did it, the Forest Service guys are denying they did it. So they don't know what the hell's up. But the hand is like, it's not mummified or it's skeletal, it's a brand new. It's like not even a day old, and it's fused in with the wood. So the loggers, they insist they didn't put it there. Somehow a fresh human hand ended up fused inside of a living tree. So the cops had them cut, that section of the tree, into a movable chunk, and they take the hand away, and the area is closed off. There's a big investigation, but nobody got any answers. Nobody knew what had become. It was just like a weird story that nobody, would fess up to, and nobody knew what had happened. Everyone was just pointing fingers.
They didn't take any like DNA from the
guy, the forest guy didn't, he's not privy to that information. He was kind of like a grunt, right? Oh. So if anyone would have known, it would have been the higher ups, the main guys, the leaders. But they didn't. He didn't get the information on that. So I'm not sure what to make of all these stories of these stairs, if there's any validity to them or if they're like bullshit. But I think it's pretty weird, and I don't go camping, and so if anybody who's listening and goes camping or anything and has seen these or come across these, let us know, because I don't know anything. I don't know what they are or what they're doing, or are they like doors to other dimensions? Do they lead to hell? I don't know. Or
I'd be more curious, like who put them there and why did they?
Yeah, why are they showing up? And like you said, it happens a lot of times when kids go missing. Remember the last podcast I talked about when kids disappear, like by that fuzzy man and stuff. I don't know if it's all correlated. Like, are they cut?
Like
are the fuzzy men
are kind of like building those, and that's their way to like get from one dimension to the other.
I don't know. Could it be? But I have like this one other little place. It's not in the forest, but in Washington State, there's a place called Maltby Cemetery. So this place it was known as the 13 Steps to Hell. So these steps go down into the ground, and if they say, the story says that if you make it to the bottom and turn around, you'll see your own spirit going into hell, and it'll return to you. Yeah. If you're lucky, it returns to you and you can get out, make your way back up. But some people, they say that don't make it, the spirit gets killed and you die. So people have claimed they've went there with friends, and the friend might go to the bottom of the steps. Like say you and I go, and I'm at the top, you go down, I watch you go down, you make it all the way to the bottom, and you might turn around, I see you. But you're down there suffering because your soul's in hell. But to me, it looks like you're just standing there. I'm like, hey, Logan, come on up. And you're just kind of standing there like maybe in a trance or something because
my soul's gone from
and it's like you're in a different dimension. That bottom step is like supposed to like be another dimension or hell or something like that. So it looks normal to me, and your spirit can return and then you can make your way back out, like, let's get the fuck out of here. But I guess this was such a big like taboo over the years. Allegedly the steps were demolished.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they were saying that the truth about the steps is that the cemetery was originally built on unholy ground, the site of a long ago Indian massacre. So I guess a sorcerer of the blackest stripe named Leonard Maltby built the cemetery to become a power source for the black rituals he was practicing. So he was supposedly discovered by local citizens, and they found that he was sacrificing a child to his demonic master, and he was executed and buried on the spot. So I guess that the 13 steps originally led to his hidden tomb, But it was later buried by descendants of the original citizens group when too many children went missing in that area. So yeah, I mean, steps, man. I don't know. Stay off the fucking steps.
Stay off the steps.
Don't be doing the stepper at the gym. So I don't know. I don't know what to think of this. I don't know if there's supposed to be like a gateway somewhere else, lead you somewhere else. I don't know if the guy who had his hand clean cut off, if it was in the tree, maybe not. Maybe it's all full of shit.
That one was kind of interesting because just the idea that there was a hand in there,
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to be able to get like some DNA to see if they match or if it was his hand or
Yeah.
if he had like a ring or something that was his and you can like, oh, that's
that was mine. Ring. I mean, who knows? Maybe the guy that had happened to, maybe he had died already, and I mean they could still match his DNA, but yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting. I always wonder sometimes if there's like portals around, this Earth, but it seems like there's something sinister going on in some of the forests. I don't know what it is. I don't want to know what it is. I fucking stay out of those woods, man. I stay out of the forest, man. I don't do that shit. But I think it's just really weird. I think it's interesting. And if anybody, like I said, if anyone listening, and if they want to like write to us on our page, let us know if they think that they've seen those, or if they think it's all bullshit, or whatever. I'd like to know. I think it'd be good, interesting to know.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see if anybody has any stories of them like seeing stairs or actually getting on them, or if they felt anything, or if anything happened to them.
And if you don't want us to share these stories that you tell us, that's fine. We won't. It might be just for our own peace of mind. We'd like to read them, but I think it's I don't know. If you saw the stairs, would you go up them if you were in the forest?
I probably would, because they wouldn't really think there would be anything.
Sure.
Because if it's just like, I'd think it was like, oh, look, somebody built some stairs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe there was a house here at one point, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, there might be some old, but I mean, the fact that they were like, they look pristine and new.
That's weird.
With no deterioration in them. That was kind of strange, but
yeah.
But if I saw them, I wouldn't really think anything of them.
I know. I don't think a lot of people would.
When I go hiking and stuff, I've seen things like that, like little stairways or something that somebody's built out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I never really think of anything being supernatural, but more like maybe somebody's out there just built it just to fuck with people.
Mm-hmm. No, I get that. It's just it's odd. And again, I don't know if any of this, how much of this is true. That's why, like, if anybody's come across those, please let us know. I think it'd be really interesting.
It's on the internet. It's on the internet, so it has to be true.
Nope, internet never lies. Internet is our truth.
We're getting to the end of the program, so we're gonna stop right now and
we'll take a nap.
I'm getting freaking tired.
Fucking tired, motherfucker.
All right, so everybody have a good morning, evening, or night, and we'll see you next week. Until then, stay strange.
All right, bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
If you enjoy the show, please go to iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you're listening, and please give us a good rating. If you want to share a story or have ideas for a future episode, you're welcome to visit us at www.thestrangepodcast.com. We look forward to hearing from you.